guys, back again with another video. Today, super excited. Finally, the main piece of this project, Tacoma facelift, is finally here and will be going on. The Lil BS fabrication hybrid bumper, also sold by Running Ford Tacos. Super excited to get that on. With that being said, we're going to do a whole lot of cutting to this truck. Before we dive into that, one more thing that you may notice about the truck that's a little different is this hood stamp. So before we get into this video, huge shout out to my boy Mike over at Wrap Armor in Orange County. I'll go ahead and put his Instagram here and also put his information down below. Make sure you check him out. He does great work. This thing is absolutely flawless. I love it. I went with the matte black hood stamp to take care of our glare coming off of that light bar. If you saw the install video to that light bar, you remember seeing the glare or seeing what the function is, the backlit function of that light bar that was causing a lot of glare at night. I decided to go with the satin black USA flag with a nice little red stripe going down the middle. Alright, you guys, so before we start marking out our cuts, what we want to go ahead and do first is kind of remove this wheel liner under here. There is a plastic clip here which I already popped off just from me rubbing it so much. That probably just popped out on its own, which of course this is going to take care of that issue as well. But up here you got one bolt. I believe it's a 10 mil or a Phillips. I'm just going to go ahead and use here. Kind of just pull this back. I know some of this is going to be trimmed away. And there is 1, 2, 3 bolts underneath the bottom of this shield as well, but once again, due to all my rubbing, I already had those popped off. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is reach up on there, unscrew it, and now I know there's one screw holding in the fog light. It's kind of dark, so I'm pretty sure you can't see it, but I'm going to go ahead and get that fog light out, and then after that we can start setting up for our cuts. Alright, so we got one fog light out. You want to make sure you go ahead and tuck up those wires out the way just to make sure that you don't cut anything when you are cutting this thing out. Now one thing that I have seen a lot of people do is, from my understanding, the cut line is right underneath this body line here, so it just follows it straight back. And from my understanding, you want to end up at this hole, this Phillips head, or this Phillips screw that we removed from the back holding the wheel fender lining in place. So we're going to go ahead and line that out. Now one thing I have seen just for previous installs and previous videos of people doing this is there's quite a bit of a gap in between the actual bumper and the new hybrid bumper, which I don't want. I want to keep that as minimal as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and move the line just a little bit further down, and we'll see how that goes. We're going to cut one side first, and then we're going to go ahead and take the measurements from this one side and do it exactly on the other side, so that way we know for sure we're even on both sides. Besides that, I know all of these little plastic panels pop off, just like so. And I'm probably going to break these, but no, there you go. So that's one. And then I know these you kind of just push back. There's 2 layers there, so you have to just hit the first layer. You take this out there. Oh, you gotta cut through this little piece right here. Alright, now going back. You see, it's not the straightest line, but that's where I'm hoping this will kind of cover that all up and make it look as straight as possible. But not too bad. So now we're going to go ahead and measure the exact same distance that we did on this side and do the same thing on the opposite side. Alright you guys, so I got a little bit of that door edge trimmer on this side. As you can see, that does make it look way cleaner. Kind of just hides that cut. We're going to take a small file and clean this up real nice and well, so that way it looks clean. So that's how that side's looking. We just got done cutting this side off. So we'll do the same over here, clean up the cut, and then that's pretty much it. I think this bumper is ready to completely come off. There is two 10mm bolts up underneath that hold it down in place. I already got those off, so let's see if we can get this whole thing off now. Alright, there it is, completely off.
Just waiting there in the back, just throwing rocks.
Hit each other in the fucking head. And then these, I know this just pops right off. Little clips. Like I said, we really don't care about all this anymore. This is all trash now. Get this crash bar out of the way, which I believe it's 3 bolts on each side to get this forward piece off, and then it's another 3 bolts to get this little pedestal coming off of the frame off. So go ahead and take all this off, and then once we're back to one side off. Got that side. Just like that. So before you even get around to mounting the bumper, you want to make sure that you get your trimming up in place. Real simple, you guys, real cheap. AutoZone. It's called a door edge trimmer. I got the SUV slash truck one just because it gives you a little more lip and it's a little more bite onto the plastic. So we'll go ahead, fit this to size, cut it, and then we'll move on to prepping the bumper. You guys, so I actually did forget to mention, you do want to remove these blocks here. On the driver's side, it's just a 17mm bolt going in from underneath. So there's one there, and then on the passenger side you got 3 of them, 2 that are going for this OEM hook here, or tied down point, and then this 3rd one here. So go ahead and remove all 3 of those, get these pieces off, and then I believe we're ready to mount the new bumper. You guys, so pretty much the only thing we really got to prep is this little triangle plate. Yeah, little triangle plate here. As you can see, it's on both sides, and it kind of just goes with the shape of the bumper. Goes with the shape of the bumper there, like so. So all you're going to do is you're going to do a bolt, washer, and then on the other side washer, and then locking nut on both sides. And from my understanding, I'll see it more once we mount it, but from my understanding it's going to go in through here. And they're what? They're halves? Yeah, so from my understanding it's going to go in through here. And that little triangle mounts up right above the 3 mounting bolts, the OEM mounting bolts. So as you can see, there are the 3 holes there. So we'll go ahead and get this ready, and then we'll pretty much lift it and put it in place. Alright, so here we go. It's time to throw it up. The 3 nuts are right there. Ready? I'm using my head to hold it. Alright, so as you can see, that little triangle that we kind of set in place is sitting right there. So we're going to go ahead and set another bolt and nut through there on both sides. And then from my understanding is we can start tightening everything up. And then I also do know we are going to put a bolt through here, which that's one of the locations where we remove that block. So we're going to do washer bolt, yeah, bolt, washer, on the other side, washer, nut. So we'll go ahead and get those on there, and then we'll start tightening everything up. But looks pretty damn good. All right, so as of right now, all the bolts are just loose. We're gonna tighten up these main 3 first. Now the bumper does have a little bit of play, so you want to make sure you push it all the way left for us. It seemed like that kind of got rid of, or even on both sides, I should say. So that should be it. There's no play up and down, right? No. Just left and right. All right, you guys. So as you can see behind me, everything is tight. Everything is pretty much on and in place. We still got 2 little plates: the bottom skid plate, the winch plate or cover, which we are not going to put a winch in just yet. I know it's kind of, I'm working ass backwards. If I ever did want to put in a winch, I'd have to take this all off and do the whole thing again. But I kind of don't plan on getting one. We'll see. So right now we're going to go ahead and move on to these fender liners. As you can see, it kind of looks like it gives us a really nice line here. So I think I'm just going to cut it at the line and then kind of just zip tie it up somewhere, or try to cover some of this, maybe get a heat gun and try to melt it or mold it up. But we'll see. That's pretty much all we got left. As you can see, looks pretty damn good. So we'll go ahead and try cutting off these fender liners, and we'll see how we tighten it all up. Alright, you guys, so we went ahead and shaved down this fender liner. As you can see, kind of zip tied it on certain points, tucked it away. Looks pretty good. All we went ahead and used to do this is just a regular a blade. A razor worked perfectly for this. Check it out from the front. Looks good.
Won't you rub your fingers down my spine? Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers down my spine? Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your
thing I did go ahead and throw on are these little cement colored D-rings from running Four Tacos as well. I just think it ties in the look pretty good, and I mean obviously they are for recovery gear, so chances are I probably won't leave them on there at all times, but just for now and to put it all together, looks pretty freaking good. Looks even better with that TRD cement TRD Pro skid plate down there on the screen. But that's pretty much it, you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.